December 4th, 2014, meeting of the Fawcett Town Council to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In front of me an email from the Secretary of State's open meeting website indicating that this meeting was appropriately posted on their website December 2nd, 2014 at 5:08 p.m. So we are in compliance with the open meetings law. Minutes from November 13th.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from November 13th as presented.
Discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain, I was not.
One abstention. Motion carries 4-0, one abstention. That concludes the business of this particular council. So we're going to say goodbye and thank you to.
If I would just have a second just to thank
You
people.
may. It's an honor.
It's been an honor and privilege to serve you guys and for a fine 4 years, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for your service.
Think of us on Thursdays.
Thank you, my son. Thursday.
True.
Now I will call forward the new members of the council, Mr. Gordon Rogers and Mr. John Mustigo, to come on up to the table and join us. Okay, we are going to start with an invocation. This evening we have Reverend Barry Ruda, pastor of the North Gloucester Baptist Church with us this evening. He's going to recite the invocation for us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before we pray, I'd just like to say thank you to John for extending this kind invitation to be here with you this evening. He's accepted a number of invitations on behalf of the Gloucester Clergy Association to come and address various groups and so forth and issue proclamations. So I was very happy to respond to him. Let us now join together in prayer. Almighty and ever-living God, we come before you at this time to ask that you would look with favor upon these proceedings. As these newly elected town council members get sworn into office, grant each of them a clear understanding of the tasks and challenges that lie ahead for the council and for the town of Gloucester. Give them insight to lead with integrity and enable them to successfully address these tasks and challenges in the fulfillment of their responsibilities. To this end, we ask that you would bestow upon these civil servants your gifts of discernment, wisdom, patience, good sense, godly judgment, and a spirit of cooperation. We thank you for the different strengths and abilities of each member of the town council and ask that you would grant them the corporate ability to work together in such a way as to capitalize on those strengths and abilities. These things we pray together for the benefit of us all. Amen.
At this time, I would ask Senator Nick Kettle to come forward and swear in the new council.
Stand up. Raise your right hand. Do you state your name?
Mr. Franco.
solemnly swear that you will be true and faithful unto the town of Foster and support the town charter, and that you will be true and faithful unto the state and support the laws and constitution thereof, and the Constitution of the United States, and that you will and truly execute the position for which you have been elected, or until another be engaged in your place, or until you be legally discharged therefrom. So help you God. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so first item on the agenda, election of council officials. Council, the first act, need to elect a council president and a council vice president for this term.
I would like to make a motion on that to appoint Denise DeFranco for the council president's position as being the highest vote getter. She's been on the council for the last 2 years, so she should do a very well job in following that position and doing it as well or better than anybody else on the council.
Okay, it's a motion. I would just like to say that I sat on the council in a leadership position for 6 of the last 8 years. I believe that I have the qualifications and the experience to continue, and I would like to be considered as well.
Shall I second Gordon's? I second Gordon's motion.
The floor is open for you to, anyone to take whatever action.
Second Gordon's motion.
Okay, is there discussion? Okay, well, I have made my statement previously, I won't make it again. We'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Yeah.
Nay. Motion fails. Is there?
I move to nominate John Lewis for president of this council for 2015 and 2016.
I'll second.
Okay, is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Now,
Abstentions? Motion carries 3 to 2. Election of council vice president. Is there a motion?
I would like to make a motion to appoint Denise DeFranco as vice president for the town council.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. Laws seconded it. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Appointment of town officials is the next portion of the agenda. And we have in our packets, letters of requests for reappointment from most of the existing folks, not, a couple that we did not receive. So I actually put these all in a spreadsheet so we can see them all, and the supporting documentation is within your packet. These are the folks who have submitted letters for reappointment, and the few that you see highlighted in yellow are folks that haven't responded. They haven't said no, they haven't responded, so like the positions that we will just skip over this evening until we hear back from those individuals. First appointment on the agenda is for town solicitor. Is there a motion?
I move to appoint Renee Bilbalaca as the town solicitor for the period of 2015, 2016.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
What are the parameters of the duties of the solicitor? I mean, I've heard in the past that they're all inclusive, or they have a contract and certain things that exceed that are not included, like if you gotta go to Superior Court, if you have some issues like the water supply board, do we hire out? Has she had a past contract, and if she did, I was just wondering why I haven't got a copy of it if it's gonna be continued on in the service forward. And if she did, or if we're gonna work on something in the future, I just find it hard to make a motion to hire somebody and then discuss what the parameters are, because I don't know what they are at this point. So it's kind of putting all the power, once you've appointed them for 2 years, they hold all the purse strings on moving forward on a contract, because you've already agreed to hire.
The parameters are certainly within the constraints determined by the last financial town meeting. So the last financial town meeting set a dollar amount that we cannot exceed.
That's not what I'm asking.
Specific goal. I'm going to try to answer your whole argument, but certainly your whole question. Certainly, one of the things is compensation. So that's within the constraints of what was established at the financial town meeting. The previous council had a memorandum of agreement with the solicitor that indicated what responsibilities she would have and what responsibilities she would not have. That was requested by certain members of the council. They wanted an actual document. It certainly is within the control of this new council to have that conversation with her, with whatever solicitors appoint, what the responsibilities are, what the expectations are, what the compensation is. But at this point, I would suggest that there would be no change in the existing parameters unless this council would change it. Yes.
Well, that's why I mentioned that should have been put in our packet as to what her parameters are. I don't know what they are, I've never seen the documents, so what I'm saying is I'd like to see us delay the appointment till we at least see what the previous memorandum was and what the parameters were. To make another point again, not to beat a dead horse, if we appoint her tonight, me and Mr. Restivo don't know what they were, and if we actually go along the same ones, maybe I won't agree to some of them, but if you've appointed her, or him, they hold all the cards. You've already hired her.
As with any appointment that this council makes, they are an at-will employee. The town charter does require that of all the appointments on the agenda this evening, 2 are required to be made this evening, the solicitor and the treasurer. Beyond that, we have some latitude.
I believe it only says the treasurer has to be appointed
Now, let me ask a question, John.
Go ahead.
It seems that 4 years ago, I sat right there when one of my daughters was sitting now, and I asked Mr. Rogers, who was then president of that council, were the solicitors, and he had 2 of them, were they there to serve the entire town, or the people, or the entire council, or what? He said, just the entire council. There was no parameters, there was nothing else except what Mr. Rogers wanted. We have a proven solicitor. She's been solicitor more than just 2 years. And she's done a great job, so I'm saying we move on with it.
I disagree with that. I believe there was something in the packet on what the parameters were, then I appointed them.
But you didn't have them when I asked you for them.
Okay, is there further discussion? Motion is on the table to appoint Renee Bevilacqua as town solicitor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
No.
Motion carries 3-2. Next item on the, would you page it down, Secretary, as the new solicitor? We'll get everybody sworn in. Next item on the agenda is probate court judge. We have a sitting probate court judge, Paula Cuccolo, who has requested reappointment. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Paula Cuccolo as the probate court judge for the term of 2015-2016.
Second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries, is there anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously. treasurer, we have a letter from Kelly Russ requesting reappointment.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Kelly Ross as the treasurer for the 2000, for the next 2 years for the
I
term.
think I talk.
It's okay.
Yeah?
Mr. Rogers and
Well,
Mr.
Mr.
Hawes,
Rogers, you
motion
gotta
and second.
understand, he's a member of this council, he doesn't talk over everybody. He's not the president.
So we've got, I'll allow him to make the motion, you can make the second. Motion, can I just hear and clarify?
To reappoint Kelly Ross for the term, 2-year term as treasurer for the town of Boston.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll say.
Okay, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Carried unanimously. Tax collector, we have a letter of request for reappointment from Nancy Delaire. Is there a motion?
I move to, excuse me, I move we make Nancy do it, and that's,
Collector.
tax collector.
Is there a second?
Second.
that. Okay, multiple seconds. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Tax assessor, a letter from Patty Moreau requesting reappointment.
I move we, to nominate Patty Monroe as tax assessor for the next 15 and 2000.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Town planner, a letter from Juliana King requesting reappointment. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Juliana King as planner for the town of Foster for the year 2015, 2016.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Moise, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Director of Public Works,
I move to nominate Joe Cadillo as Director of Public Works for 2015 and 2016.
is there a second?
Second.
I'd like to make an amendment to that motion to appoint Robert Clark, a former DPW director for many years, several years ago. Spoke with him, he said that he'd be interested in the job. I think he did an excellent job, and I'm putting that forward as an amendment to the main motion.
So you are making a motion to amend the motion to change the name. He's making a motion to amend your motion to change the name from Joe Cardillo to Robert Clark. Is there a second? I hear no second. The amendment fails. We're back to the main motion. Any further discussion on appointment of Mr. Cardillo for Public Works Director? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
No.
Motion carries 4-1. Director of Human Services, we have a letter from Carol Morrow requesting reappointment. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Carol Morrow as Director of Department of Human Services for 2015, 2016.
Is there a second?
Second.
Multiple seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Building and zoning inspector, we have a letter of request from Peter Scorpio to be reappointed. Is there a motion?
I will make a motion to reappoint Peter Scorpio for the town of Forster for the next 2 years.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? With 3 ayes, motion carries. Animal control officer and appraiser of dog damages. Letter from Mike Caparelli. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Mike Caparelli as Animal Control Officer and Appraiser of Dog Damages for the the year 2015, 2016.
Is there a second?
Okay.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Plumbing and mechanical inspector, we have a letter requesting reappointment from Jeff Lowe. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Any discussion from anyone else? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Electrical inspector, we have a letter of request to be reappointed for Peter DeSpigno. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Peter DeSpigno, electrical inspector for the year 2015, 2016.
Second. I have 2 seconds. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, those are the appointments of town officials. Now we have on the agenda approval of deputies. We have a deputy town clerk and a deputy treasurer whose appointments are recommended to the council by the town clerk and the treasurer, appointed with our consent. So the first recommendation from Jane Christopher, the town clerk, is to appoint Susan Sprague as her deputy town clerk. She is incumbent in that position and interested in remaining. Is there a motion?
Second.
No, I didn't make a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to
What am I doing?
move forward with the recommendation of Jane to appoint Sue Sprague to the deputy clerk's position.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Deputy treasurer, we have a letter from Kelly Russ, the treasurer, requesting appointment of Lillian Jackson, who's the incumbent and interested in remaining. Is there a motion to?
I move we give Kelly a wish and nominate Lillian Jackson as deputy.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Appointment of non-standard town officials, we have a number of these as well. Sealer of weights and measures, we have a request for the appointment by Kenneth Knight. Is there a motion?
I move that we appoint Kenneth Knight.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The quarter of wood, there was no response, so we have no application. It's another night unless anyone has a name.
If you'd like, I'd like to contact Robert for the next meeting.
Robert Thurman?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I see him quite a bit from time to time.
Absolutely. I think Jane tried to contact him, we just haven't heard back. That'd be great. Okay, so we'll just carry that as a future agenda item. And we'll move on to fence viewer. We have a request from Thomas D'Agostino to be reappointed as fence viewer. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Thomas D'Agostino as fence viewer for the year 2015, 2016.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Recreation Director, we have a letter from Michael Pulowski requesting reappointment.
I move that we reappoint Mike Polsky as recreation director.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Keeper of the Keys, we have a request for reappointment from Aidan Mott Restivo. Is there a motion to reappoint?
I make a motion that we appoint Aiden Mott Restivo as keeper of the keys for the term 2015, 2016.
Is there a second? Second. Motion's been made and seconded. You should recuse.
Okay.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0, no abstentions, one recusal. I'll be informed after all of the meeting. Town historian, Edward Balfour, actually he's here this evening, he's verbally requested to be reappointed. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that Mr. Balfour return.
Year, 2 years, 2
For
years.
the 2-year term, yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, both sides. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Director of Emergency Management is another one, we received no response. But we did speak with Sharon Potter, who is the currently the Assistant Director of Emergency Management, who's willing to stay on in that position and be acting. She does not want to be the Director of Emergency Management, but as the Assistant Director, she'll be the acting Director. And go to the Engineering Board this month and identify a candidate to be appointed as the Director, or interested candidate to put their name forward to us. So we don't have anyone for Director of Emergency Management, but we do have Sharon Carter for Assistant Director. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Sharon Carter, Assistant Director of Emergency Management, for the term of 2015-2016.
Seconded by Mr. Hawes. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Engineering Board Liaison. This is an individual the council appoints to sit on the Engineering Board on our behalf. It's been occupied by Tom Walden for a number of years, and he's requested reappointment.
I move we reappoint Tom Walden.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Tree Warden, we did not receive a
I
response.
would like to actually make a motion to appoint Brad Smith, Forster resident, of 50-some odd years. Spoke to him the other day, showed interest, and said he'd be willing to do it, so my motion is to make Brad Smith the tree warden for the next 2 years.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion been made and seconded. Discussion?
Do they need to have a certification,
They do. They need to be a licensed arborist.
a licensed arborist? Is
I'm not sure.
that's my own concern, is that I know that they have to be a licensed arborist.
He may be, he owns a sawmill in town.
Yeah.
About longer. Could be, could not be, but if you want me to hold off, I'll back my motion up and we can find that out.
Could you do that?
Yeah. When the second?
Roger,
Roger.
withdraw the second.
Yep.
I'll withdraw my motion.
So if he has the credential, we'll get it on the agenda. Constables, usually the constables that are appointed are the chiefs of the fire departments, commander of the ambulance corps, the members of the council, and then there are occasionally some other individuals who express interest and submit a letter. So I have the list of all those people, the council members, the chiefs. We received one letter from Mr. Padillo requesting appointment as constables. Is there a motion?
I move we appoint.
You need to read the names.
Can I read the names?
Yeah, please read the names.
Would you like me to do that? I will do that. I make a motion that we appoint the following constables. Aaron Marsland, Chief of Forster Center Volunteer Fire Company. Paul Kniff of Moosup Valley Volunteer Fire Department. Gordon Braden, Chief South Forster Volunteer Fire Company. Sharon Carter, Commander Ambulance Corps. Joe Cardillo, DPW Director. Denise DeFranco, Council Member. Roger Hawes, Council Member. John Lewis Jr., Council Member. John Restivo, Council Member. And Gordon Rogers, Council Member.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries folks that are listed here are all currently on the board or commission for which they are listed, and their terms expire in December, so they will be expired before we meet again. Could result in a quorum problem potentially, so all of these folks have asked to be reappointed, many of them are here. But the first one, planning board for a 5-year term, Tom Mercia is requesting reappointment.
I move we reappoint Tom Mercy to the planning board, 5 years.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Zoning board, 5-year term, Paula Montshaw is currently on the board. She has requested reappointment. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Paula Marshall for a 5-year term on the zoning board.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Zoning board alternates, these are 1-year terms. And there are 2 alternates, Tom DeRamo and John Esposito. I believe they're both here this evening. They both requested reappointment. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we reappoint Thomas E. DeRamo for a 1-year alternate on the zoning board and John Esposito for a 1-year alternate on the zoning board.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Land Trust, we have 2 terms expiring in December, Linda Tibbetts and Walter May. They both requested to be reappointed, and this is a 3-year term on the Land Trust.
I move we appoint both Walt May and Linda Tibbetts to 3-year term.
Okay.
Land trust.
Motion's been made by Mr. Moore, seconded by Mr. Rogers. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Last appointment, Recreation Committee. Tammy Steinkamp and Danielle Scott, both currently on the board, requested reappointment. These are 5-year terms. Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we reappoint Tammy Steinkamp and Danielle Scott for 5-year terms on the Recreation Committee.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, that is the last appointment. So we're going to call upon Senator Kettle one more time to swear in folks. And I would like to ask, first of all, everyone who was just appointed to stand. But in addition, the newly elected, re-elected town clerk, Jane Christopher, town moderator, Robert Boyden, town sergeant, Michael Coggeshall, and tax board of review, Mary Agnes Fennessy. Anyone who is here and present, if you could please rise and turn it over to Senator Kettle.
Okay, do you please all state your names? Raise your hand. Solemnly swear that you will be true and faithful unto the town of Worcester and support the town charter, and that you will be true and faithful unto the state and support the laws and constitution thereof and the Constitution of the United States. And that you will and truly execute the position for which you have been elected or appointed, or until another be engaged in the place, or until you legally be discharged therefrom, so help you God. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your willingness to serve and help us run the town. Okay, we just have a couple of things to finish up on the council agenda, and then we can adjourn and have some refreshments. We have a couple of warrants. We have payroll warrant number 19. May I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept payroll warrant number 19 in the amount of $26,953.65.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. General warrant number 10.
I'll make a motion to accept general warrant number 10 in the amount of $50,755.23.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We have one item of new business that was requested, to be put on the agenda by both Mr. Rogers and Mr. Franco regarding Roadmap Rhode Island and a resolution, and I'm going to allow either one of them to address this.
You want to read that to me? You want to explain it a little bit?
Go ahead.
I don't know if anybody's aware of Roadmap Rhode Island. A little while ago, it started out as an economic driving plan put in front of the General Assembly to go for a $1.9 million HUD grant to move forward. It started out as an economic driver to create business and move forward, but there's been some confusion since then. It seems to have turned into some things that aren't quite understandable. They've had meetings throughout the state, and just recently, most of the citizens of the state have started to pick up on what it's about. They have a lot of questions. So basically, this resolution it's up for adoption from statewide planning. That's why I asked them to put on the agenda. It's up for adoption December 11th, so it was imperative to get it on tonight. I would thank Mr. Lewis for allowing this to be on, because if it wasn't on tonight, it wasn't going to make any difference. So the meeting, the 11th, all this resolution doing is asking it to be delayed. We also got an email from Rhett Chippendale to ask that we also put a resolution on that was already in the works. He was also asking for a resolution from the council. There are many other cities and towns that are trying to get it through at the last minute. So I will read the resolution, and again, basically it's just asking statewide planning to delay the December 11th decision so the citizens, the General Assembly, and interested parties can get into the plan a little bit more to make sure it's something that we want. So if you want to read it, Denise?
Do you want the one that you
Yeah, the
presented
resolution. the one
from
with the
Portsmouth? There was also
No,
a second.
that was just kind of a guide.
Okay, so the resolution for Foster Town
Yes.
Council? Sure. To postpone the December 11, 2014 adoption of the Economic Development Plan known as Roadmap RI. Whereas the General Assembly has tasked the State of Rhode Island Planning Division to create an economic development plan that would enhance our state's economic vitality. And whereas said plan, now known as Roadmap Rhode Island, has not received adequate public scrutiny from the council and the citizens of the town of Foster and the citizens of the state of Rhode Island, now therefore be it resolved that the town of Foster and its duly elected representatives respectively request the Division of Planning and Rhode Island General Assembly utilize all its powers and authority to postpone the adoption of Roadmap RI until the 2015 legislative session, during which time the duly elected representatives of the people together with the public may closely scrutinize the merits of this plan. Be it further resolved that upon passage, the town clerk shall forward this resolution to every state senator and state representative, the governor, governor-elect, and every Rhode Island municipality.
I think the second, the adoption of the resolution as read.
Okay, that was made as a motion, Denise?
Yes.
Okay, that's a motion, you seconded. You're satisfied with the wording?
Yes, and again, thank you for helping me get that on the agenda.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to adopt this resolution of the Foster Town Council. Is there any discussion?
I just would like to reiterate that Representative Chippendale did send us an email today requesting that we address this and ask for it to be postponed, and gave us a lengthy summary of what his feelings are on that.
Okay, further discussion?
I'd just like to add, I've been following this for several months, going to several well-attended meetings, town hall meetings in North Kingston. I'm going to try and make, if they do have a meeting on there, I'm going to try and make it December 11th meeting at the state. Because to me, I don't know the whole plan, but it's almost like a Trojan horse, the way it's, certain things are mentioned in there. It doesn't, it's not clear, but it leaves many avenues where they can go after it's adopted. So, that's all, thanks.
Okay, further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, so on Monday, we'll get it typed up, signed, I'll sign it, we'll send it off. Okay, future agenda items. We have the 3 appointments, Carter of Wood, Director of Emergency Management, and Tree Warden. Is there anything else for future agenda items?
Yes, I have 3 topics I would like to have on the agenda.
Okay, go ahead.
Concerned citizens, discussion action,
Concerned citizens.
Foster Home Journal,
Well, one moment, I just want to make sure I write it down. Citizens, discussion, action, Foster Home Journal,
discussion action, and liaison to the various boards and committees.
and liaisons to boards and committees. Okay, anything further for future agenda items? We are meeting 1 week from today. Our next meeting, we do have a couple of public hearings, liquor licenses, gun shop licenses, which are all licenses. And we'll see how many of these things that we can get on as well and resolve. We are going to adjourn the meeting and invite everybody to join us for refreshments here. I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.